And hey, JP.
Well,
So,
good morning.
actually, Toast will be late.
Morning.
Okay. Tree pipeline description. Okay, so let's just start off with Scrum, just like updates from everyone, and then we'll get into some of these comments. Sangeeth, what's your update for yesterday, and what did you do yesterday, and what are you doing today?
Yeah. So, I've just resolved some conflicts and every kind of things in my previous branches, and like some kind of updations, that's just Adrian and JP mentioned. That's the part of things, and I was like working on that send OTP things, so just merging it, like it's not just officially merging it, but just to check how it works or not, like
Mm-hmm.
from my part. If it's working good, then I'll just try to implement it in the original one.
Okay.
Okay.
Jomar, what's your update today?
For today, I just rebased my previous PRs, fixed the conflicts, and updated the routes, especially for those who use the Mikey's route. And for later, I'll continue with the remove part and start on it after get saved parts and edit is also finished.
Adrian, can you pull up the turnkey function integrations doc real quick?
Function integrations doc. Yeah.
I think it's in your tab. Yeah, either
Yeah.
that one or the one on the left.
I thought it was open somewhere.
Yeah, it's one of the turnkey ones. Yeah, it's either that. Okay, wait. Go to the one on the left.
The one on the left.
The left tab.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the regular one. Yeah. You can click X on that little thing. Yeah, it won't close the thing. Okay, so yeah, I listed it by status.
Where is which one is he
some
talking
things
about?
got changed. Well, let's just see what we got. Like, if you scroll all the way down,
Yeah.
we have. How many do we have incomplete, and how many are in progress? There's one incomplete. Sangeeth is the lone incomplete. But that's because we're going to talk about that too. We're going to talk about OTP, and then in progress we have 3. Just what? Wait, no, we should have Jomar as well, right? Okay, yeah, and Ernest we won't talk to until Monday, but that's fine. So JP, how about you? What's your update?
So I made the full request for the trial purge earlier. It's for the update of the uh, static for the manually billing address, and I updated its UI for this Figma specs, and I resolved the conflict for the add or update username function.
Understood. So is that what you're working on today?
For today, I think I will go to update card. Yeah, as I already asked Manan for the issue, but yeah, it has no problem on the front end, so I can move forward with it.
Okay. So let's talk about one. Ashutosh said, "Hey boss, I'll be 5 to 10 minutes late into the Scrum meeting. Need to freshen up." You know what I say to that? I just said, "You're a man." I have to remind him. Ashutosh. Come on, guys. And Malika said, Malika, I hope you watched this Scrum. She said, I may not attend the meeting today because I am not feeling well. It is online. You're online. You could be like on your side, like coughing up. Just turn your mic off, just listen. Oh my gosh. I'd rather just hear I'm not gonna be at Scrum today. I'm not gonna be at Scrum because my cat farted. Like, I don't need to hear a reason that isn't a reason. Oh my goodness. Anyway, can you go back to the Scrum meeting minutes, please, Adrian? Yeah. And let's not talk about the OTP because I want to wait for the Princess Ashutosh to be here to talk about that. But with the 3D asset loading thing, I was thinking if there's slow internet connection, I suppose, and you go to a previous page or a new page for whatever reason, maybe it just loads like with a background overlay that like blurs out the background and the 3D assets just like rotating in the middle, just like it is now on the home screen, just like maybe slightly faster or something. Or I feel like that could show up in a bunch of places right now as like a little loader. That would be cool. But honestly, probably that's an aesthetic thing that I'm probably going to add to upcoming features, because even something as simple as a loader can have a lot of technical things. So I'm not going to. So yeah, let's not jump on that. But it is an idea so that one day we do have a custom loader. I think that's a good idea to do, but not super necessary to do right now. Okay. Ashutosh, you're fresh. Hop in. You're so fresh. Okay, thank you. Muhammad, are you freshened up?
Hi.
You look fresh. Okay. What's your update for us? What'd you do yesterday, and what are you doing today, Muhammad?
Okay, so I couldn't work yesterday much, but I'm looking into issues in the list. There are some unassigned issues, so I think so. I should start that. So you can also assign me new issues, but in the list there are some issues not assigned to anyone. So I think so. I will do that.
JP, I thought Muhammad still has issues that he could assign to him that are incomplete.
Yeah, but I'm double checking if I think the issue for number 38 to 42 are pending for approval, but I don't think there are pull requests for this one, Mohammed. Can you please verify?
Okay, I'll confirm this to later.
Okay, thanks.
And just so you guys are aware, JP, Malika, Gautam, Prarthana, and Muhammad, all of you will need to get set up with the website version 2 branch. So you have to make sure that you're able to get access to that working so that, half of you guys can do the QA and the other half of you can start fixing up tiny UI pixel perfecting stuff. Because Maksym is definitely focused on the functionality and responsiveness of everything, but he's ignoring the font a lot. I basically told him it's okay to ignore the stuff that you guys are going to be able to clean up easily without affecting the functionality or responsiveness, so that it's just front end work kind of stuff. But okay, let's start talking about the OTP, because at least Ashutosh already knows what we're talking about. So when he hops in, he can contribute. But I don't believe Adrian has a good idea of what your exact concern is, Sangeeth. So if you want to go ahead and explain it again.
Yeah, I think he knows actually. I just got a message from his last night.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So all right. So what I'm thinking is right now is that actually we have a separate endpoint for send OTP. So I don't think which is actually necessary if we are just using it anywhere else. Why it's like that actually? When we are just going for a login, we cannot log in him just directly. Like what's a major problem is that actually when we are just directly trying to log in is that we need to give set the cookies apart. Like we need to set the cookies, his username, email ID, and everything in the front end, right? So he can easily just skip that part of this two-factor authentication. So what I'm thinking is that actually just directly sending to just sending the request to the login, and the login system will design and decide where it should be gone, whether he should be directly login or send an OTP or something like that. So if it is a send OTP, he will just he will get a message or something like that. Based on that, we will just pull up this two-factor authentication screen where he need to fill the basic details. So
Right.
then we have a 2FL login function would be there. So this OTP code, email address, everything will be sent to the backend, to the 2FL login. From there, his data will be pulled and just filled with the cookies. So this is actually what I'm thinking right now.
Yeah, that sounds good to me. Have you thought about using, because I know you said that the send OTP is a separate function, and we've talked about one function only, just being able to use one thing, right? But have you thought of maybe using it as a method inside the login function?
Yeah. Yes. So that's what actually I'm thinking.
Yeah. So that even if it's a separate route on the back end, you can just use it as as a condition. So if the 2FA is enabled in the settings, that they can just use that method in the login as a condition, that if they did enable it in the settings, that they can use that.
Yep. So everything will be in the login will be work as it is right now. But we are just adding a else condition where if the auth is enabled, we will return a result as if authentication is enabled, and then return to this pop-up screen or the authentication screen or something like that. Or else we will give the data the user data. So that's what I'm thinking right now.
Yeah, because the one I was looking at it yesterday. The response is it's getting the connect.sid, which is the cookie, the session ID, and also the token, and also the approval. The 200 is also getting sent, the response.
Yep.
So if that's an issue, we can look into that as well, because you can also make that. You can split that, I think, so that there's a private and then there's also a public part, so it's not as just out there on the computer. But definitely, I think you can just use the send OTP as a method inside the function login. And on that note, while you're on the login, can you make sure that there's some error handling for the user, so that if they do, if they type the wrong password or the wrong email, just like the sign up that you did that we talked about, so that make maybe some kind of like a toaster saying,
Yeah.
user typed wrong credentials.
Normally, we don't use the toasters. Actually, what we are just doing is that we will just pull up a red flag or not
Yeah,
a
what
red
you
flag.
showed me,
Yeah,
Sangeeth,
got
right?
it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that would
remember
be
that
like
was a
what we are
clean
just doing
UI.
right now. Yeah, that's all.
That's
It's
totally
just right
fine with me.
underneath the password. Just
Yeah.
expands.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. It's just it was just the toaster is probably not a good idea because that's more of like a positive thing that like a negative message would probably be a different thing. So yeah, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, all right. That's all.
Cool.
Good.
Do you have that do you have like a screenshot of that, son? Because I remember the screenshots like make a lot more sense. Like, I don't even know how to explain them. I don't give them justice. Like I'm
On which what like
oh, okay. Yeah, well, let's see if my like that.
dude,
Yeah, like these show up underneath. All these have like a little red X that says like should contain a minimum one uppercase character, yada yada yada.
see,
We
there's a
definitely
problem. Like in the login, actually, we cannot literally give it like that. In the login, we can only say like it's actually it's very prone to attacks. Like so in create password is actually what the problem is that actually we can just literally say like okay the password is not here the strings are not matching, the numbers are matching, the numericals are not matching. We can literally say like that. But in the login, actually, if we are just given it like that, we are just giving a hint to the like attackers.
Yes,
We can only say like that the password or username is not matching. That's all.
that's it. Yeah, you can't say all of the hints. You're hinting to all of the hackers that we need an uppercase. Oh, we need a lowercase. Oh,
Yeah.
we need whatever number.
The create password it doesn't matter. Like so if
Oh
you
yeah,
just
no,
give the hint
only
or
the
not.
one that you need would show up, right? Or it would only show one at a time.
No, I think it should just be a general thing. Just say that the credentials you entered do not match, or in the sense of that. Like, I don't know the wording that is usually best practices, but
other people do it. Other people have like one uppercase letter, one lowercase letter, number, special character.
No, that's actually for the create password. Like while creating the password, we can give it like that. So one password is actually not matching. So we can give
that's
it
what I
for
mean. Isn't that the picture? That was a create password, right?
the create password. Yeah, the create password. What's the thing is that actually I already implemented that input validation.
No, I agree. When the password is just simply wrong, just say that's not it.
In the login. Yep. Yeah.
Understood. Okay, great. So is everyone on the same page about this OTP security thing? Right. Okay, next. Well, let me see real quick if Maksym's freshened up.
He's not in the office.
Him and I are both hanging out with family today, so we're both not in our optimal environments. Hey, Maksym, could you hop on Scrum? You're going to? Okay, just real quick, we're about to talk about your API, and I want to make sure you're able to chime in if you have anything extra to talk about. Okay, sounds good. I think he's still dreaming. I talked to him, but he did not sound awake at all.
How far is he into the website design?
So if you pull it up, you can tell.
Oh wait, sorry.
Yeah, so you can see completed. All of those are complete, and all of the pieces above TernKey are complete. That the whole like little mini product section, and then inside of product is also all of TernKey. So all of TernKey needs to be placed inside of the website, And then all of these are done. So literally the only thing that's not done, or the whole website is done. And what Maksym is working on is he was like cleaning everything up. He's like making sure that all of the routing is right, but now he wants to make it so that I don't know, he's cleaning everything up, organizing divs and everything, making it so that the code isn't as messy as it was, because while he was building it, he learned more and more and was like, it's better to do it this way. So he's just about done cleaning it up, and then he's going to start. Then he's going to start changing the TernKey frames that were altered slightly. Like the settings modals all look different because they have a little less inside of them because a lot of the profile settings we're putting to the website. So he's going to start on that. And then while everyone else is helping with the merges and integrations, I guess. Oh yeah, then so after he does the alterations, I'm gonna have him go into TernKey, and the only edits he's gonna be making are just responsiveness everywhere. So he's just gonna be moving stuff around, seeing what's messed up responsiveness wise, fix that, just go through the whole app, see what isn't responding correctly on different breakpoints, and do that. And then if you scroll down below and to the left, I am getting him set up for the next round, the tiniest breakpoints. And this is the most difficult. The next breakpoints won't be nearly as difficult. I am not working with a lot of retail here, or a lot of real estate here. So this will be his next responsiveness challenge to get to. And but it's coming together. This thing's really going to be built out. It's going to be a very respectable, like
product
experience. Well, it's more than a product now. It's like the entire virtual environment of the company, essentially.
Yeah.
So
Pretty cool.
This was crazy. Putting the freaking like invoices and stuff. There's so much going on here, but it should fit for a phone. For a phone, it should look nice, but like, oh my gosh, insane. So yeah, he's done with it. He's just on cleanup mode, and then getting the website or getting TernKey's responsiveness up to par is now the next step. I'm even tackling doing TernKey if you go a little lower.
Oh.
Right there, the emulator. I started to tackle that just for phone. What would happen is you'd only have input show up, and then upon running it, then you would see output, but it's actually trickier than that. Like I have to figure out how to use a sidebar and then also how to use the burger so that you can switch to different things. I don't know. I just kind of
actually you could swipe
to.
So if like let's say once you enter, you push the button to compile the compile button, then it like animates and like swipes to the left, and you see the G input. So then the user can find out that you can swipe from left to right after that.
I think we might have to get the button isn't going to work at all. I don't think on a mobile phone. We might be better off replacing the button with like a giant button or a slide button for like answering a phone call kind of thing.
Right.
So I'm also doing my best to decide what the heck should be there. Like, should the information, because the burger is going to open this white menu, and that is where I want I don't want an information button anymore. So you can see terms and conditions shows up there. That's where release notes is going to show up. That's where keyboard shortcuts are going to show up. That's where all this stuff is going to show up. And but I feel like the save button does need to be on the home screen. The sidebar obviously has to. I think the clear button also has to. And then the profile button I might get rid of, and I might put that inside of the burger. And so, just working with ideas. First, I had to see what it looked like and if it was even feasible. And it does look feasible. And the swipe's a good idea, but I don't know how tricky that would be for you guys to make, because how do you tell the difference between, like, because these are input fields, so you could be like trying to get it, like, just mess with the input. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, just a heads up. I see a typo. You meant G output, correct?
Where?
On the right side, the home turn.
Yeah, see, this, I didn't even get that far.
Okay.
That's why that one is like halfway out of the box. That thing's like, I don't even want to deal with output yet, because I'm not even sure how we get to output.
Yeah.
So, and I'm not even done with the input screen, so I don't even know what buttons are supposed to show up. So
Got it.
it's all a mess right now. Okay, let's just talk without Maksym. He's probably still dreaming. I don't know. He probably just answered me in his sleep. So Ashutosh seems to be a fan of this linting API thing. What is it? Oh my God, he's here.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Did
Okay, hey Maksym.
Hello.
So you want to explain to us the API, the React API that you shared with us, Adrian? If you want to open that and just take a look at it.
Please.
It's there's two links there, so it's the top one.
Oh, the
Yeah,
top
not
one.
top one. Yep. GitHub link.
Okay, let's start from the first file. Those files are for LinkedIn formatting and so on. No, it's config files under SRC. It's lint CGS. Let's start from it.
With this one.
Yeah, that's config for lint. So basically, we have here rules for LinkedIn, and in the root of the repository, I have a basic root file that I extend here, because this is monorepo, and if you see on the third line, I have basic file. That's common file for all the packages I have in this repository, because it's monorepository. So it's extended here, then I add some plugins for React, then configure environment. Some of the lines are default configs that goes in each slint config file. In the very bottom, we have rules for imports, for example, and for React itself. There are a lot of rules, and we need to check them separately in the official documentation, for example. Okay, that's about Lint CGS. Let's explore the next. I think everybody knows about Lint Stage, right? What is the tool? So it's just automation for running such tools as Lint, Prettier, and so on. Basically, we should add path that we wanna check for TS, TS6 files. We run linting and formatting and adding to the stage. And the same thing for CSS, but we run as style lint instead. Okay, let's go to the next. Here, just pretty ignore, we add some files that we want to ignore for this specific tool. Okay, and the next file is config for Prettier. It's just my own config that I prefer. So tab width, quote, trading commas, and so on. There are much more rules, but these are basic ones. Okay.
Yeah, having a config file for Prettier would be a good idea, since we could all have the same formatting set in.
Yeah, it would be very good.
Oh yeah, absolutely. What is it called? It's a what for Prettier? It's like its own
Config file.
API.
It's like
It's a
a
config
plugin.
file.
Yeah, for plugin.
It describes what settings you want.
Oh, okay. So we can have universal settings for Prettier and just have everybody use this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's great.
that's
That's great.
usually that's usually enough for project. And if you want add some more rules, you could explore it in the official site. It's documentation.
Yeah, that's great.
Let's go to the next. Styling ignore. That's we ignore some file that we don't want to format this tool. Then styling rc is the same as lean, but for CSS files. In this project, I use SCSS. So let's go to the styling. Yeah, the same rules as lean, but for styling. Basically the same structure of this file. Then config overrides. I don't remember why. Yeah, I use it in purpose to use shared API, shared package, where I set my types and share it between two packages. Currently, I have only one package, but in the future, I am able to add another package for the backend, because that's React project plan. So in this file, I just include some directories that I want to share between packages of the monorepo. Okay, that's a config file for testing tool. Just
Automated testing, right?
yes, I have basic config in the root of the repository. If you want to see, yeah, in the bottom, in the very bottom.
Right, this one? No.
Yes,
Just config.json.
Yeah.
Config.json.
The forecast, yeah, that one.
Yeah, database files that I extend in the all of the packages in this monorepo. That's also specific config for my own project. As we see in 14 line, at the 14 line, I have shared package that I also test with this tool, and some other configs. There are much more configs, and we need to explore it in the documentation. And that's it about Jest. Then modules is just file where I add something as PNG, SVG, and so on. And that's it. And we could explore package song.
What's that?
Yeah, package song. Here, I also prefer to use some scripts. For example, for linting to check files on this 22nd line. It's just calling of the tool as lint. And the next line is to fix errors and some other things for SLint testing and formatting. In the very basic, in the very package soon in the root.
I'm sorry.
In the root. In the package soon in the root of repo under just so in the bottom.
Package JSON.
Yeah. Here I have also scripts at the top. Yeah, that's configuration for running tools for monorepos. So the same thing for building, for cleaning. Here in this monorepo, I use tool for monorepos called Lerna. It allows us to run packages, to run scripts in this package, and so it's very available tool for monorepos. That's also specific config for each repository. If we use mono repository, it's helpful. But if we don't use monorepo, we don't need this tool. Just in case. And probably that's it.
All right, so I have a question about that. So when we have slint built into the next library, right, or the package, it only lets me know what the errors are when it's built. And usually people don't use the script npm run build until it's already getting deployed on GCP, because we don't necessarily have that as one of our procedures onto our development production or development environment. So would we have to, is this something that would be only like tested once you use the build, or is this going to raise red flags while we're in development?
Yeah, I forgot to tell about another tool, the Husky. So this tool is used for configuring hooks for commits. For example, if we making commit, it runs some commands before we commit and check all the files, for example. So why we use linstage? Linstage is just a sub tool for Husky, and Husky runs the commands in linstage rc in the React API package. Could you open it, please, again? Linstage rc file.
Linstage DRC file. Okay.
Yeah. That's the command that Husky runs in every commit.
Okay.
For this 6 file. So if linting finds any error, commit will be prevented, and you need to fix these errors.
That is great.
There's
same
also
thing
a way to
for
have it start up on npm start or npm run dev. So you could just modify the start or dev script, and ESLint should work there, work when you start up the program as well. So whenever you save and make changes, it should work.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. Usually we don't need such often running, so on each commit will be enough. You could open the very first folder in this repo, .husky, and that's the hooks that I use in this repo for pre-commit and pre-patch. I just run script yarn pre-patch in the very root package zone. I configured it, so it's very simple.
Cool. Awesome. Because the last thing I need is like to like I'm pushing something to deploy, or I mean not anymore because we have a pipeline. But before that, we would find errors me and Wasim would find errors on GCP after everybody's already pushed it to GCP or to the main branch, and then I push it to GCP, and then like escaping like double quotes or single quotes. That was very tedious. So
yeah, it will be very easy to do it in the local meshes. No need to run pipeline on each commit. But the other thing that these config files should be the same between pipeline and local machines in purpose to avoid mistakes. And the other thing, I forgot about it.
That's okay.
Yeah. And probably that's we also could run testing in linstage in pre-push.
That's perfect. So that'd be easier for the actual for the QAs as well.
Yes. And that's all I wanted to tell.
Well, I'm sold. Let's do it. Of course, we're going to have to modify it so it fits TernKey and also all the other websites. But yes, I'm definitely on board with it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. The other thing, after we configure these tools, we need to run them for all the files we have and reformat them, recheck, and if need to fix the errors. It will be a big commit probably because it will modify all the files with formatting and so. But that's no problem because no any logical changes on the formatting.
Right. Cool.
Okay, so we're well on our way to standardizing our coding. That sounds great. So Kirman, I mean, I sort of rather talk to you tomorrow or Monday because then I'm able to be on my computer. But I was just curious to get some of the pipeline descriptions and diagrams that you had. Remember you were showing us diagrams of the actual GitHub pipelines with GCP. I'd like to have those and create a section inside of our company guidelines, our company documentation, where it shows exactly how our pipeline is created and it shows how our server works. Obviously keeping, well, these are definitely more internal documents that do have a security concern. So this would be more of a confidential section, but I'd just like to get those diagrams. But I imagine it's probably better if you and I are talking and like you share your screen and I point out exactly what I mean. So we can go. Do you have time tomorrow, Kerman?
Okay. Okay. If you are free on Sunday.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
Yeah. Tomorrow, let's just plan on going over looking at the diagrams of the pipelines because I do want to place them inside of a document. So,
Okay.
basically, so we just write everything down and so that we do know how stuff works right now instead of having to go to Wasim. At the end of the day, we should have so much knowledge and control over the whole system that theoretically anybody could make a change in any capacity because we all know what the heck is going on everywhere.
Okay. One more thing that last time I was checking the pipeline after running it for TernKey database, I think. It was showing some errors.
It was renamed. TernKey database has been renamed to TernKey_backend, and Arch database has been renamed to Arch_backend. So you may need to update those.
Okay.
Yeah, that might be the issue.
Okay. I'll check for that.
And I guess we should probably also make sure. Adrian, can you make a note on the meeting minutes underneath the actual meeting minutes, just anywhere in there? Could you just put remind or TernKey database and Arch database were both renamed to TernKey_backend and Arch_backend.
I have a quick question here. Will we be using Arch backend at all? Because it seems like Arch is more than enough, and the rest of the backend functions are going to be integrated into the website.
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever you guys feel is best. I know right now we're on the back end because Arch is still being built.
Okay.
But yeah, the more convenient it is to merge backends and everything and databases and this and that, we'll do that. That's sort of up to Manan's discretion as far as what should be combined and whatnot. And I'm thinking there was like another note I wanted to make, but I can't think of it. Okay. That's about it. One funny thing, when Maksym and I ran into a guy in the office yesterday, and his name was Naman. Now we know a Manan and a Naman. I was like, you just said Manan's name inside out. All right, but that's Scrum, fellas. Thank you.
Mhm.
We're all set.
Bye.
All good.
See you.
All right, talk to you tomorrow, Kirman.
All right, guys.